Anyone else? Are you guys good?
I don't have any investigate.
Yeah, I'm busy getting body goo off of me.
All right.
Thoreau must be in the middle of looking, and then Chapel just completely muscles in and like squirms on over the body and like gets on his hands and looks real close. And he says, "If we look for the insignia on the tunic, we can see what kingdom this skeleton warrior fought for. So let me go look here."
It feels like one of those toys. As you get a kid, you didn't know you were going to get of them.
So, Chapel, you could tell that this guy's official. He has some good stuff on. He doesn't look like all those other sand people that you saw. Those sand ninjas that you guys saw so far. This guy looks like an official ninja. In fact, he looks like he wasn't a ninja at all. He looks like more like a cop, like a ninja cop kind of. It looks like he used to be potentially a local here, based on the fact that he has MSP on his God, what do you call it?
Embroidered on his jumpsuit
Yeah,
or
just
whatever.
embroidered. Yeah, somewhere on
his uniform.
on his person. Yeah.
Malta State Police, probably, or something.
Ah, well, Malta Station Police.
Our station, yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
I was about to be like, that's nonsense. Oh wait, there is an S word.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, with a 5 investigate, I guess you said a fit.
Sorry.
Malta State Park Ranger. With a 5, I guess basically, is this what I was supposed to glean? Is it basically a police uniform? Like,
Yep.
you said official uniform type thing.
It is, I'll give you the acronym. It is Malta Security Personnel.
Okay.
So it is an official, what would just be, the police of this place. Not a military, not NEF necessarily, but
okay,
some kind of Malta security dude.
Chapel, I think Sean basically got in the right headspace as he narrated that, because Chapel says all this shit in a similarly infantile way as he just crawls all around the body and picks at different pieces with unusual delicacy. As usual, he has, oddly, without anyone noticing, just sort of warped into his savant skills and is actually giving a suitable report that has useful information.
As he goes about this, I want to have Throw look over and see, like, is there fucking, like, scratch marks or anything on this door? Like, are there any clear signs this guy tried to get his way out of this thing?
Yeah, look over, give me, actually, you're already, yeah, you can just see this. You don't see any, there's no signs of struggle or anything inside.
Okay. Yeah, they will turn their eyes back forward as you narrate, Chapel.
And he gets up and dusts himself off and says, "There's something missing, though."
What's that?
His skin.
His scimitar. Skeleton warrior doesn't have a scimitar. Where is it? I think that's what we need to look after.
Sean, can I roll contacts on MSP?
You can.
Seeing that I've been here before, like, maybe I can get some information on what that is.
Actually, I was looking at contacts. I don't. I think we might be using it slightly weird, but.
Sean and I had this conversation. And I think he's wrong.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Well, yeah. You can. I was just thinking, like, I was going to give you a +1 to like a lore or something like that. But
voice what you're thinking, and it's up to you to determine what the proper role is. But just voice what you're thinking so everyone understands where you're at.
I read the thing, which again we kind of deviate from the rules anyway. But context seemed to be that is to find a person who knows where to point you. Like you aren't the greatest blacksmith in the world, but you have good contacts. All right, you're gonna be able to find one, kind of thing.
I would just argue that if you do that, it takes away a lot of the punch that contacts currently has, because it separates it almost. Lore is book smarts and contacts is book smarts.
I think if I'm gonna bite on anything from the book, it would specifically be the line, Because yes, you're trying to find a person, so I see that as the argument. I'm looking. Oh, thank you. I'm actually stuck a piece of gum in my mouth.
Shut up.
I'm.
Shut up.
I was biting my nails.
Mac just
okay.
spat a piece of gum, tissues chewing out of her mouth and into my
Sorry, I
mouth.
just got hit in the side of the face with a rifle crop.
Cut out a blowgun and shot it.
You just hear my head hit the desk as a fucking little feather is sticking out of my neck. Whether basically the way that you go about finding information, polling your information network, searching archives and computer databases. I mean, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I also see the other side because there is not really a like word on the street stat, which I feel like is
Yeah.
a little more than lore.
Yeah,
It is.
Lore is like I'm gonna read my books. It's like
Well,
it's not like meeting a
let me-
dude.
let
and being
me-
like, "Hey,
let me
come on."
imagine this scenario. You know, if you wanted to find some what?
She said, "Wow." Go ahead.
Call her out.
Wow.
Wow.
If you wanted to find someone who knew this guy, like that, I imagine that's what Manny's about to try to trace. I can't imagine what else you would roll. Like, lore would be, maybe this guy's like a famous town sheriff or something. Then you might be able to use lore because he'd be in the newspapers or something.
Mhm.
But otherwise, lore wouldn't apply to this schmo who got locked in a suit and worked for security.
Yeah,
So it could only be
exactly.
contacts.
You might know a little bit about the security that worked there
Yeah.
if you rolled lore.
Yeah, and
but,
I
like,
guess that's how you can flavor it too. I'm working backwards. I've got a subject, and I'm trying to get information about who he was via contacts. As you know, we have the establishing point that I had been here before.
Yep.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna roll it then. All of that.
Jesus fucking God, roll 20. What is your
I-
man? You guys had a long conversation about that. What if what
if I
if you
screwed
didn't
up?
though?
What if it didn't fucking matter at all?
What if it
to
didn't
anybody?
matter?
Well,
I'm gonna re-roll it based on the fact I'm gonna tap the aspect, the situational aspect. I've been here before. Every word
Yeah.
capitalized. That's how fate
Yeah.
do. I'm that stubborn. I'm gonna spend a fate point, and
Reroll that.
Are
got
you
it.
reroll it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
But because I feel like it maybe wasn't clearly stated, what is the action you're taking and to discover what in this scenario?
Yeah. What are you looking for?
So, I've got the acronym MSP. That means nothing to us beyond speculation.
My
I've
Little Pony, yeah.
been in this area before. I was here probably for quite a time, while we were fighting, and for that, I feel like I would know something about the area. Does MSP mean anything to me? And if so, is there any information, even if it's something like, again, through contacts, like, members of the MSP went missing, but nobody really knew what happened to them. Or
gotta-
there were rumors of this.
Man, that does sound lore the way you're describing it now. You've unsold me. You gotta find a person, Dave. Otherwise, it's
that's-
lore.
That's interesting because I think you could argue contacts
can-
to say that people talked about it. Like after
Right.
the fact, after the
I'm
war
hearing
was
that.
over, people are like talking, hey, like there's
Yeah,
a
this
lot
is
going on.
in the moment you had to be there shit. Lore is like...
I'll give you like a lore with a +1 because of your prior. Just because I feel like that, it's not just contacts. It's not just I know people. Like you were at the physical space, and I don't want to like
Sure.
truncate your lore because of that. So I'll give you
That-
a +1 to that if you want.
That gets into another. You shouldn't give him a +1. You should just make the challenge easier in your head.
Or that,
We don't
I
really
guess.
just throw out additions. It's more affecting how the challenge logically works.
Whatever.
But I mean, the word lore, it's pretty general purpose for that reason. Lore is also the tales that are told among people and eventually become stories. Context is kind of what the word on the street is now, who you can talk to now and learn about stuff.
Right.
So I guess, Manny, do you want to try to parlay that into a lore? Or do you want to create a contact that we can go talk to and get some understanding about the situation? Just
Yeah, you could still do that with this, I think.
I could with a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose you could know someone in the force.
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
The
Okay.
fucking cop,
Because we
I mean, as a bounty hunter, probably. I'm turning
so
people
we
into
can
them
go
all
kill
the time.
him.
Well, anyway, regardless of all this stuff, you do get that You do understand that MSP is multi-security personnel. So you do know that that is a group that did exist back then.
Military security personnel.
Malta.
No.
Malta security personnel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I want to take that 5, and I want to know somebody on board. Maybe it's somebody that I'm basically, I want to know who to go on board to find to get more information about that with a 5.
Okay. It's a very good roll. I will. Okay, that's going to come up later, but for right now, I'll just say that you know of a spot probably around where the bazaar is that you guys were at, where if anyone who was left that had ties to the actual law and order of this place, you'd think that's the place to go, and you might know somebody there. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that spot. I do
Okay.
have somebody in mind. So
maybe with a 5 that I've worked with them before.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
turned it around.
Yeah, I've got somebody in mind actually. Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll do
All
that.
right.
Cool.
All right. I'm not going to ask for too much pudding and then still roll a lore because I don't have lore. So
You could if you want.
I guess there's no harm in.
I mean, anyone could if they want to.
Sure.
That's fine. That's actually fine for what the stat is.
Oh my god. Okay.
Jesus!
All right. Throw.
Yep.
In addition to knowing that this is a member of the multi-security personnel, this, you know that these guys, around when the colony was breached by Scion forces, after that was over, those were the guys who were primarily left to deal with the massive amount of municipal just chaos that ensued. The NEF was dealing with the military remnants of Scion. These guys were left to deal with every gang, every crook, every opportunistic mercenary and bounty hunter that just flooded to this place because they heard it was it had been compromised, and they were basically left to become the de facto sheriffs while the NEF focused on bigger and better things, and then promptly pretty much left this place to its own devices as it seems now. And these guys, for every one of these dudes, there was 10 criminals or 10 just lowlives looking to capitalize on this place, which it seems like they won over time.
Yeah. They will just kind of regard the body and say, MSP left to clean up the mess the NEF left them. They were overtaken by an overwhelming force. In every likelihood, it was the Charon or the Rustwalkers who did this to them. We were closer to the Charon, Foundation. Likely connection.
Well, I should figure it out when I get into the systems in the head.
I will add, these dudes, they are tried and true. They would not have, very likely these guys would not have been, if anyone, the corruptible sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of confusing to you as to why they are inside of these weird MPs that look like they might have been MPs that these dudes used, but they've been repurposed.
Yeah.
Do you want a crafts or a lore for me to get an idea of what's going on inside? Johnny boy.
What are you looking for?
I guess I'm trying to understand what might be happening in there. If there's like a purpose that I can ascertain from the people sitting in the cockpit, what the systems might be linked up to.
Sure. Give me a crafts.
Always, I won't say no.
All right. With a 3 and a quick inspection of the cockpit itself, you can see that this guy was not necessarily restrained, but it seems as though there were scanners that were set up specifically to register if someone was sitting in the seat or not.
Hmm.
And that's all I'm going to give you with a 3. So for that specific part, unless you're looking for something else.
I'm also interested in you said there were antenna that I noticed on the top. I'm interested in what those do as well.
Okay. They are, what you can tell, those things are directly linked and even still kind of have a signal going on with them right now to some other very, very, very strong, God, it's not Wi-Fi. It's like Wi-Fi, but it's, God, I don't even think it exists in our universe, but it's like some kind of remote access thing akin to super powerful Wi-Fi is going directly into this thing's systems. And after having read this dude being in the seat and reading something about him, for some reason this dude is important for being there, it is activated, and it is still getting a ping off of the parent location.
Huh. Can I... Obviously, this is only a 3 craft, so I might have to make something to try to catch that ping, but is there any way I might be able to figure out where it's coming from?
You can get a general direction on it, for sure.
All right.
It is coming from the northeast, where they all came from.
Planet side.
Yep.
Okay. So she will turn down to everyone after having hoisted herself up, kind of sitting on the edge of the cockpit and taking some readings with various tools and apparatuses. She'll lean down, kind of hanging over the edge, and say, "Well, whatever's sending this thing a signal is actually planet side."
When she says northeast, would that point towards Karen? I'm trying to remember on the map.
Sorry, northwest. Yeah, that's the map that you guys were given, which I think you guys still have. I think someone took it.
Yeah, I took it.
Yeah, it's that should be where it is.
Charon, as I suspected.
Charon, by the way.
Charon, as I suspected.
Northeast. I guess is that northeast of us currently exactly on this X?
I meant to say northwest, yes.
Oh, well, then yes. Sharon. Sharon! You guys remember that?
No.
Ozzy? Oh, Ozzy Osbourne? Oh, you should check him out.
No, I should check him out.
Yeah. Oh, from that show.
From the WoW commercial, yeah. Love that guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was remember Mr. T was a night elf mohawk?
Yeah.
No, I just do Ozzy. I don't do anything else.
You guys remember Vern Troyer? He was like a little gnome dude.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, none of this. Just
dope.
Sean, can I understand why this thing? Why they were all like looking for the Diamond Lance? Are they also capable of reading out signals or picking them up?
With the 3 crafts, you're not going to get that.
All right.
So fuck off.
Okay. She'll say, I'm going to need a little bit more time with it to figure out exactly how they were able to get our signal. But safe to say, this is some sort of device likely used to scavenge tech. I mean, that's my best guess for right now. Just, precursory look.
It tells us where we should look. We're looking for a defab. They are scavengers. They've been here longer. In every likelihood, they would have found it long before we would have had a chance. It complicates matters.
But we're not really sure they have one.
Could you repurpose your scanner to detect it? To confirm it?
Good. Maybe if I could access the signal... Let's see. Sean, is that something I could do? Maybe I roll a crafts to figure it out.
We had that scanner from before. And then
I'm sorry, what were you guys trying to do?
Basically, Kane is curious if I could repurpose the scanner I had made before, possibly with the technology from this mini amp to try to pick up a DFAD signal.
From within Sharon's.
Ah, good idea. Let's see. You could use it to, you could not use it to find a DFAD inside that thing specifically, but you could. This thing is basically a one-way street. Is what it is. It gets directives.
Okay.
So if you wanted to empower that thing you used to go back to where it was, you could do that. But it's not going to. This thing is not imbued with anything that will necessarily find something on its own.
We can activate a recall protocol and send it back.
Yeah, but we know where Sharon's is.
Yeah. But still separate from that, maybe retooling that detector, and then we'd make a pass at Sharon's to confirm whether or not they have a DFAD.
Yeah, I mean, if we could get close enough, the device we had made up before could probably help us at least see if they had one.
Yeah.
Manny is going to kind of swing around on the other side of Chapel to Eli, and as he's looking on, Eli looking over, I don't know, whatever Eli's doing.
Eli at this point is he's done with the body. He's back to looking at this.
Okay.
Looking at the MP.
Manny will sidle up beside him, thumbs through his belt loops, Manny's own, not Eli's, and he'll say,
Kiss him on the cheek.
Hold my pocket, Eli. He's gonna kind of stand beside him, crossed arms, and he'll say, Eli Schumacher.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm hoping
he won't look at you. He'll just keep writing.
Yeah, he'll say, I'm hoping that your loyalty to science and understanding is stronger than that to the NEF. Can you tell me, is there anything on board that you could imagine something like that would be looking for? Because these things were dead set on getting to the Diamond Lands.
And he'll tap his stylus to his lips and just say, well, if I had to guess, this thing is probably run on some kind of one-way system where it's given inputs. Those scanners on the back, they're pretty strong, but they don't seem to be actually used here. They seem to just be relaying any scans they get back to a parent location. I would guess that something that one of these things actually picked up was sent back to its base, and I don't know, something on board our ship was attractive to them. I don't really know what it would be.
You don't have the ghost of an idea. No need to know basis projects, or maybe something on board that's more valuable than we were let on.
It's a skeleton, not a ghost.
Mr. Latour, I'm not one of those people to throw my rank around and stuff, but I'm going to be honest. Some of this stuff is probably above your pay grade right now.
He'll kind of smile at that, and he'll say, that is some form of an answer. So thank you for that.
Ah, shit.
Wait, what? What?
He is going to then make his way to Chapel, and he's going to say, Chapel, you're going to need your strength when Allison comes back. You want to walk with me to the kitchen?
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry.
And he will lead him that a ways.
Right. Eli will look at you with slightly worried expression and then go back to writing, distracted. You see, it's too good to not document this thing, though, at this point. And he doesn't seem too worried, I guess. Alright.
I wrench open the fridge and just immediately knock bottles of stuff out of the way. I go, carton flops out onto the floor as I just dig through it all, and I get a whole big bag of frozen peas.
Manny's gonna hop onto a counter, just kind of like not Grease Lightning style standing. He's sitting on the counter, and he's gonna say, "Probably keeps his shit in his own office, but you should see if Steinrich's lunch is in there."
Damn. He's got a mini fridge.
And
Here he comes.
Manny will say, "Is Steinrich here?"
He's passing.
He's
In the
passing.
window.
I'm gonna wait for him to pass.
I don't really take note of that. If I find his labeled lunch, I throw it directly for the trash.
Yeah.
Just overhand.
Just hits the garbage and the lid is spinning.
A jump shot.
Manny will say, Chapel, I've got an idea for something of a project. You are very particularly skilled at finding things without anybody noticing. Eli Schumacher, the curly hair, the glasses back there, seem to indicate that there might be something on board that is of note to the, well, you know him as the Skeleton Warrior, but to the man that was back in that MP. I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind poking around using your particular set of skills and see if you can't find something that looks big or expensive or even just locked up.
Chapel looks up. He has poured an entire bag of frozen peas into a pot to boil and is now boiling them all simultaneously. And his head rotates expressionlessly to you. He says,
What?
He's gonna say, I.
What do you need,
I
Mr.
think
Robot Man? I didn't even notice you were in here.
He's gonna say, damn it. Listen, Chapel, I think the NEF is hiding something from us.
Oh,
I
fuck
think
the NEF.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if anybody on board is going to figure it out without giving the whole operation away, it's you. You're sneaky as hell, you're fast as fuck, and you always seem to somehow get the job done. Now, guy like me can't exactly hop up into the ceiling vents and crawl around. I make too much noise. But you slide in and out with nobody noticing. So, food for thought. I don't want to make you do anything you don't want to do, but we got a little bit of time on board. Maybe give it a look around.
Just let me know when my peas are done.
and then I'm gonna go do a hup as I jump up to the vent in the ceiling and start crawling through.
Manny will go over to the stove and he will move the peas onto the correct burner.
It wasn't even on the right. Oh no! Oh,
Yeah, they are soggy, but they are just completely frozen still.
Yes.
All right. So you intend to crawl through all the vent work?
Yeah, I guess I will.
Where are you going? Wait, do you know where you're going?
No.
he's just
Okay.
looking.
You're
Yeah.
just looking around.
All right. Your first stop will be above Scarn's. He's on an operating table. He's being stitched up. His pulse is very shallow, but he does seem to have one right now. These guys have their work cut out for them. There's a lot of bloody bandages.
Chapel just puts his chin in his hands and his
Roll stealth.
Okay. Oh yes.
Nice.
Okay. No one notices you.
He is kicking his legs like a teenage girl on the phone, looking down at Scarn. And he says,
Man, he really got fucked up out there in the desert.
no clue whether he remembers doing it or not. He's gonna keep crawling.
Okay. All right. What are you guys down by the amps doing?
Do you have anything in particular, Mac?
No, I mean, realistically, I would be working on understanding if there were any useful parts on Krabby here, and possibly getting to work on taking it apart.
Okay, roll me a crafts on that one. All right. Much easier of a challenge. So, the amp itself, it seems pretty competently made for the fact that it is. I mean, it's made of all sorts of different parts. It is walking junk. But the basic hull of it does, as was suspected. Actually, the part that you found out was that it did seem to be part of a aquatic-based experimental Scion amp. But pretty much all that is left of that the experimental parts of it they've been stripped out and replaced with other stuff. It's
Mhm.
like if someone had the chassis of like an old time car and then inside is the engine is just like completely modern. All the stuff that would be good is like been ripped out, and they just kind of used it as like a casing.
Okay.
But something you do find is that the fake DFAD that you guys were linked to at the top there, it does give off a pretty strong signal, and it still actually does seem to be doing that even in its like slightly powered down state.
Oh my god, that's what they were after.
I was gonna say they may have been after that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and once you look at it up close, getting a real good close look at it, it doesn't really look like. Actually, I could just show you the fake one. I call it D4, DFAT with FAD, except the A is a 4 instead of a.
Defo.
It's a game fucking station.
Game Shark.
Yeah, you once you get a good look at it, you can see, okay, this thing is clearly just a sanded over, rusted piece of crap, but it doesn't really even look like what a DFAD would look like. It just seems to be able to generate the signal of one really well out of what it's made of. Yeah, and it's welded directly into this thing. The power seems to be actually like the power core of the amp itself seems to be like part of what's giving it its signal. Like goes directly into it.
Destiny, coming to the same conclusion, will say, actually, do we know if, what's his face has woken up yet?
Skarn.
Skarn.
You do not. No one has notified you.
Alright. She'll look down. Is Thoreau still there?
Very much so. They have not left.
Alright. She'll say, well, new guess. I think that they were after this. She'll kind of clunk it with a tool.
The DFAD.
Well, the mock DFAD. It can make the DFAD signal, but it's actually very different.
Can you salvage it?
I mean, yeah.
It would be
It's-
useful as a distraction.
I agree. It's actually smart thinking. We can take it in, plant it somewhere outside, but that's all supposing they actually have a DFAD. I mean, maybe, but if they're looking for one, maybe they don't.
A plan is built on a series of assumptions, some which will be proven true and others which will be proven false. We operate assuming certain things. This will be useful. That much I am certain.
Can't wait to rub his nose in it.
I as well. It's the most personable they've been.
She will laugh at that, and she'll say, but we should talk to, what was his name? Scan?
The
Realistically, if they've been running this scam, they probably had a run-in with these folks.
Extract information from him.
That's right. I mean, if we can, what's left of him.
We did not have that opportunity with Randy. I'd be grateful for it.
Well, if he comes to, we'll give him a line of questioning.
They will kind of turn on their heels and point up at this neighboring MP and say, "You are 500 feet from this MP and allowed a single bullet. Which relay would you aim for to sever its connection? I'm looking for a crafts advantage if we ever run into these things.
Whoop!
Oh, nice.
Where's
Alright.
a good place to shoot on these things, Sean?
I would say, let's see. There's a gap sort of in between, like where the shoulder is, where you pretty much shoot straight through the chest and into the backpacks these things are all lined up with, and that would sever the primary connection that they have.
Perfect.
You see this gap? If you aim through here, you're gonna sever the primary connection. Seems to be a design flaw.
One we will exploit. Thank you.
Not
I'll
a
give
problem.
I'll give you 2 of those if you
Oh,
ever
wow.
carry them.
Damn.
Okay. And it's an ongoing aspect we can pour fate points into. I'm all about it. I'm keeping track of this, so I'll put it on the board. And they'll probably communicate it to everyone if we ever
Yeah,
confront these
I
things.
appreciate that. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of there.
Yeah, no worries. We're fighting for advantages. It should
Yeah,
be our
never do that,
responsibility.
Sean. Leave that. That's
No.
their problem. You got enough. You got enough
Yeah,
to do.
that's-
Fuck the players.
That's
That's my stance.
Yeah, make them work for it, honestly. Agreed.
Why?
Okay. Yeah, that's all that I would have then. Unless you got anything else, Destiny?
Nope. She'd give you a thumbs up, and then she'd flip down her her soldering mask, and she'd be working at taking apart the crab for useful metal or parts as much as it had.
That and the fake DFAD.
Yep, and removing the fake DFAD for further use down the line.
Oh, are you taking it apart?
Yeah, so I think the goal is that we would like to take the fake DFAD and possibly use it later as a decoy because it gives out this strong signal they see. Like, we're assuming they're attracted to. That's our current theory. So, yeah, decoy.
Damn, we call it. Can we call it the decoy from now on? That is very good.
I think that's the canonical name
I'm
of
gonna
it.
call it that, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want me to roll a crafts for that, I can. But the idea is that she's going to take it apart, keep the signal running, or at least have the ability to flip it on and off, and we'll probably use it as a decoy later.
I'm going to tell you right now, that'll be a high crafts because you don't probably have the right equipment for that in the ship.
Okay.
It seems to be built directly into this thing. The entire amp seems to be built around that signal.
Okay.
You could potentially do it, but I'm going to say right now that's going to be a high craft roll.
You want to tell us the challenge right off the bat, or no? It's up to you.
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's
That's up to you
something
then,
that
Mac.
would
You wanna go
require equipment that is not on board, like heavy lifting stuff, and also like rewiring. You would need a battery that is equivalent to that to like basically plug it into, like how when people do heart surgery where they
Oh.
like divert people's blood, kind of.
Oh,
That's
wow.
basically what
So tempted to try it, but
We are
This-
going to a
this thing
place.
is.
Sorry.
Sorry. This thing is held together with like tape and tinsel, but whoever Scarn and whoever else worked on this thing, they were just adamant about pretty much building everything around that signal to sucker people into whatever it was they were going to do to you guys.
We might be going back to the bazaar or somewhere that could potentially have better like working equipment, maybe. So hold off then if you want, or just give it a shot now. Either way, it's fine.
I don't know how impossible it is a thing. I'm obviously tempted to try because I've got some fate points to play with, but I don't want to try if it's like severely out of my reach. So I guess, Sean, looking at this, is this like something that could be ascertainable if I roll really well, or is this something I would say like probably not worth trying?
I'll tell you this: if you hit the right parts in the wrong way, this thing's entire like mainframe is going to duck, and it could just completely fall apart at that point. So I would say, I would, given the fact that you've looked this thing over, get with the 4. I would say you probably ascertain that delicacy is going to be better in this situation, and having the actual heavy lifting parts to actually take this thing
Alright.
apart.
You could also just like leave the the decoy as it
No,
is, and we can just dump it
use
later.
the amp. Yeah, it's possible
Yep.
we could just use the amp. So she's gonna
Okay.
leave it as is right now, and if we find a better situation to take it apart later, we can do that, or we can just use the amp itself as a decoy, similar to what they did.
Great. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So do we rejoin Declan in the vents?
Well, yeah. What's Declan up to? Where are you going?
He looks over them doing that, kicking his legs, and he just goes,
Oh man, I'm glad I don't do that boring stuff. I do cool stuff like this.
Roll a stealth because you just talked to yourself out loud.
"Yeah."
Actually, yeah. Hold on. I'm just gonna open roll this real quick. Let's see.
What's that noise?
Who's
Huh?
there?
Did you hear something? I thought I heard something.
Did you hear that? What was that?
Oh, never mind.
I knew that was going to happen.
Okay. With a one notice. Oh god. Stealth matching. I think he'll kind of look over and go, huh, what? Did you say something? No.
Where do you think I am?
You're just gonna keep crawling.
I
We'll
meant to
put
be over
you,
this scene, like we transitioned from these guys to me, because I was looking at them do this, but then I was just continuing to crawl through the ship.
You can do that. Maybe you're crawling along some, some port that runs along this wall here, and you see out to the docking bay, and I mean, you see the docking bay.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna roll investigate in search of... Chapel doesn't know what technology specifically, but he knows when something looks like it's off limits to him. So he's looking for an off limits area that's like not probably doesn't have anyone in it, just behind a locked door.
Okay.
Investigate.
Okay. You find the area. There is a lower deck area that is, let's see, because it's not on the map, but it would be down from the sort of central thing. It leads down to an area further down the decks. The vent actually ends like above like the door that's locked. It seems to have its own vent system somewhere else, or another vent that you could potentially get into, but not from this access point.
Okay. I want to get down and what would I do to analyze and see? I want to like learn what the burglary challenge would be for me to open this without setting off security.
I guess that would just be like would that just be a burglary roll because you're just checking it out?
It does involve casing
Probably.
joints, yeah.
Yeah.
You can just do that. Okay. You can tell that. So you're trying to figure out what you'd need to do to open the thing up without raising an alarm, or like how long it would take to do, or what do you mean necessarily?
What one would have to roll on the burglary to get through this to, succeed.
Okay.
I want to know what the challenge is because I assume failing means alarms go off.
Yeah, the challenge would be a 3 is what it is, or 3 or higher.
Huh?
Sorry, so set the challenge and then success is 1 over that. So like what would the challenge be?
The challenge is 3.
Okay, and then success would be a 4.
Success would be a 4.
Okay,
It could be
gotcha.
a 3.
Sorry, I said that wrong. Not
No,
3.
no worries.
You
It's
said
fine.
You said the challenge was a 3 or higher, and I went, huh?
Yeah, challenge is set at a 3.
He's gonna cross his arms. Oh man, I either have a compellable moment or I can do something practical. He's gonna walk away.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
He's just gonna meander back down the halls with his hands in his pockets, and then, after having disappeared through the vent, walk in, a couple minutes later through the kitchen door to Manny.
The peas are boiling.
Yeah, Manny is stirring the peas.
Manny is dead face first in these peas. Someone killed him. The entire rest of the campaign is a murder mystery. What a twist.
Like an
Every
L.A.
session-
Noir detective steps in.
Dave is surprised in every session he asks if this is the session he gets to play, and Sean says we'll get to it.
That'll be like this.
Sean just keeps telling me not to worry.
Don't worry about it. Fine.
Yeah, we'll get to it soon. He walks in and looks in.
Oh, what the hell? What's happening to them?
He says, they're boiling.
What
They're
the?
cooking.
He sprints over and takes them off of the burner and puts them down. And he goes and slides one under his mask and goes,
Oh, this isn't. This is all warm.
He goes, yeah, that's cook. Did you find anything?
Yeah.
hey, these are pretty good.
He starts eating more of them.
He's gonna say, yeah, just for you. Oh, here comes this guy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I'm just grabs him. Don't mind me.
Manny will just nod.
Grabs
And,
a pack of Cheetos out of the there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Puffs.
So, what you were looking for, Mr. Robot Man, is
you
a
know
big.
what, Chapel? He's gonna say, I think we're all set in here.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say that the door you were looking for.
Oh, the door's right behind you, of course.
No,
Thank
not
you.
this one. It's a really high security.
What are you guys talking about?
What do you want? Can we like hang out without you bothering us? Who the hell are you?
You are kind of bothering us.
Ensign Matic, what's up?
Do you want some peas? Because if you want them, you're gonna have to make your own. Because these are mine.
No, not peas, dude. I'm not eating those. Those things have been in there for, probably since the war started.
Ensign Medic, do you have somewhere you need to be right now?
No, I'm on break.
How long is your break?
Oh. I only got 15 minutes left, man.
Chapel, why don't we touch base after we talk to Allison?
Do you think? Oh, is she ready right now?
He goes, I got to imagine that hour's almost up.
He does. By the time the camera looks back at Chapel, he's in the hallway.
Manny's gonna stop at the door. He's gonna say, "Enjoy your break, Ensign."
Oh, yeah, thanks.
He's gonna head back to the rest of the group.
Allison is actually gonna look for Steinrich.
Okay.
Ooh.
Roland.
Yeah, we'll say, yeah, he's hanging out in one of these halls here in this bay area, this middle section.
Okay. She's gonna approach and say, Sergeant Steinrich or Roland, do you care either way?
Huh? Oh, Roland's fine, I guess. What do you want?
I just wanted to have a little chat about what happened out there.
He's going to look up from. He was like, I don't know, he was playing Candy Crush. He's going to look over at you and he's going to go, "Oh, really? No, do tell. What do you want to talk about?" And he's going to cross his arms.
I just wanted to ask, what reason could you possibly have for putting my crew in danger?
What reason? Oh, let's see. You guys are, let's call you the bottom of the barrel. And I got orders from the top to, just see how you guys will perform under pressure.
And that includes not letting us use the mechs that were brought with us.
Specifics, whatever, they're really up for me to interpret. You know how orders are. They don't give us actual things to jump off of.
Well, you're a smart man. I think you can figure out what you should and shouldn't do in a high-stress situation.
Oh, you guys were fine. If you were in any actual danger, we would have come down. We could use the cannons on board. There's a million things we could have done. I think you just want someone to talk to and vent at, but I'm not the guy. I'm just following orders.
I'm not venting. I'm trying to make sure that we're on the same page about this. I would hate to have to yell at you in front of the other crew members again.
Oh. Yeah. Listen. You guys proved yourself, you're pretty competent in combat. You guys work together. It's not something I'm going to keep doing, but I mean, it made it more exciting, right?
What a douchebag.
Sure. Next time though, I think what would be more exciting is if you came out and helped. I heard you're pretty good out there in the field, but I've yet to see it.
Damn.
Ouch.
God damn. All right. Well,
Chapel wishes he could.
yeah, roll provoke.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Oh god, I want him to cry.
So bad.
Fuck.
Who knows?
Maybe.
He can't. He's too big to face.
You think you start to see some blush appear in his face, but then you realize, no, it's probably just a trick of the light, and he kind of stands up more
I'll
straight.
just use a fate point. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll use one of my 2 fate points.
What do you got for it?
Fuck him up.
Get his ass.
Doesn't know the word no. Confident and pushy. Allison gets what she wants.
Okay, works for me. So you're just having +2?
Yeah.
All right.
Safe.
Yeah, you'll see him. You'll see him for once kind of shrink a little bit, and you almost think you catch some scarlet run across his fucking cheeks, and he goes, "Yeah, listen, that you guys were fighting an experimental whatever that is. I don't know. Why you gotta call me out like that?"
He just stops midstream to lean in and just be like, "Listen, why are you being so mean to me right now?"
Allison's gonna say, listen, I want there to be trust between us. And I know that you didn't get to your position without doing anything. So if I am able to avoid calling you out, I will. But I'm also not going to put my team in danger unnecessarily.
Yeah, listen, it was nothing personal. It's something that apparently, the rite of passage kind of thing for these new whatever initiatives are. Check to make sure that that these groups aren't just going to run off with experimental tech or whatever, and because that's been known to happen. I guess it's not going to happen again. It's fine. You're good. We're not going to do anything about it. Just don't say anything to anybody else, please.
Bliss?
Okay, well,
Please.
I'm glad we're on the same page. And then Allison will playfully poke his chest, and she's gonna say, we should get coffee sometime. And then she walks away.
What the hell? What the fuck?
She's into
Yeah,
it.
power.
He's
Power.
not nagging her, and she likes it.
The hell?
Just be a little more.
Hold on. Wait until I get one. Good enough. Is that good enough? What the hell?
Oh, dude.
What the fuck?
She only likes him after she steps on him,
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
I have to
probably.
assert my dominance.
He goes back to passive aggressively pretending like he had something else to do, looking away kind of sheepishly. Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, and Allison's gonna head back to the loading bay, loading dock.
He walks into an empty room as if there's something there. It's like a closet.
Yeah,
I gotta
he
get
picks
to
up-
I gotta get to something in here.
Yeah, he's literally in the escape pod room, just kind of.
He picks up his phone and starts talking like he's answering a call, and in the middle of his pretend conversation, it rings.
Oh no.
I remember there was a show on Comedy Central, there's some comedian or something where he did like passive aggressive Olympics, and one of them was like it was like a 50-yard dash or something, and everyone's trying to get to the finish line as passive aggressively as possible, and a guy pretends to answer his phone. And Jared's pretending like he just got a call. Perfect. Yeah, anyway, you guys are all met up again.
Oh, Allison Hendricks is here. Allison Hendricks, you're here. Looks like the hour's just about up. Time to
Looks
reconnoiter.
like Chapel's here.
Yeah.
Everyone, what did we find? Did we find anything yet on the amps?
Oh yeah, we found a body.
Yeah, I found
Yeah,
a
his
secret
body.
door.
What?
I was just gonna say.
I point at Manny.
I was just gonna say. Found.
Is Dave here?
Christ.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I was I don't know why I was expecting somebody else to talk for Manny. I was like, oh, he's in shit.
Dave's in DM mode.
Yeah.
How are you guys gonna handle your rogue player?
Yeah, what are you guys gonna do? Manny will start talking over him. He'll say, "Malta security personnel stuffed inside the MP, left to do its bidding."
So there are people in the MPs.
Yes, likely a form of punishment. We linked the amp itself to a despot, name of Sharon.
Must be the
Well,
Skeleton King.
That's a lead. Do we have any leads on where a possible DFAT would be?
Well, man, how do I want to frame this? My current assumption is that they were actually looking for this thing. She taps the top of the crab mech as she's kind of not standing. She's sitting on it and kind of working at it. And she'll say, I think that they were attracted to its signal, which means that they may have come after it before. I was hoping I could get a conversation with our hopefully not dearly departed guest.
All right. We should check up on him soon.
He's fine.
Eli's gonna look over guest. What do you mean? I mean that guy? That guy's toast.
Oh, not that guy, obviously. Doesn't commune with spirits.
Oh, that's who they were bringing on the stretcher. I see.
Eli, wait, pay attention.
I was too
fine.
focused on the giant, amazing machines.
I know, they're pretty great, but I think if we could have a conversation with him, we might be able to learn if they've seen these rogue robots before. If they have been running this scam for quite some time, which seems like they have since this amp here seems to be built around the signal, they may have encountered him before. You might know something about him. And whether they have a DFAD. I can't say for sure whether they do, but through Roe and I were thinking that perhaps we could take the device I cobbled together in the desert and go close to the camp.
Go close to the Despot's camp?
To Sharon, yes.
Right. It should pick up a DFAD signal. I mean, it reached out for this one, so no harm in checking.
Oh, that's perfect. We could put someone in the cockpit again.
Hey, Eli.
Chapel points as he pipes up.
Shut
What
up.
do you want?
Allison Hendricks is talking.
Damn.
Okay. I don't think she was, but that's fine.
If it's an MP and it's pilotable, I've got experience.
Well, now I don't know about that. They are sort of pre-programmed. I mean, they do need someone sitting in the seat, but I mean, it could take you right into the camp. We could just check it from a distance. I mean, maybe not if it's big.
I could go in.
No, Chapel, you've risked life and limb for us enough. I can do it this time. Besides,
No,
I fit the...
I'm sneaky. I get in, when it opens up, I sneak out.
I agree with Chapel. He is one of the better ones at going unnoticed.
mortally wounded men, apparently.
He'll look over Chapel. He'll say, "Undetected, yes, but you think you could focus in there, Chapel?"
Oh.
When the camera
can't-
cuts back, Chapel is looking at a bug that's flying around his head.
He's gonna say he can't forget where he is or that he's among enemies in there. Something really bad could happen to him. Okay, look, I know he seems like he's indestructible, but I think sending him into the lion's mouth like that might be
Reckless.
and out of his depth.
Well,
Look.
which one of us is the best at recon? As far as I know, Chapel's whole job is that.
And he's going to kind of step inward and he's going to say, "This man idolizes the ground that you walk on, and you just want to cast him into the fire like this?"
Not casting him into the fire. We need someone to go in there.
I'm volunteering.
Are you capable of getting out?
I'm capable of surviving. I might not be the best at looking around, but if you guys tell me what I'm looking for, I can orient myself in there, and if I run into trouble, I can fight my way out.
I would prefer if we didn't have to fight at all.
This conversation may be a non-starter. Destiny Hacker still has to perfect the device. We may be able to detect the the DFAD, from outside of the perimeter.
Yeah, do we... I don't think we know how big this place is, right, Sean? We just know of it.
Of Sharon's place?
Yeah.
You know that he's the premier gang leader here.
Yes.
That's really all you know. And he's big enough to have an entire spot on the map that
Yeah.
It's as big as the bazaar, maybe larger on the map drawing. If that can be taken for anything.
Destiny will kind of scratch her forehead in thought, and she'll say, you can't see into... I mean, it was completely bolted up, right? From the outside. You can't really see into the MP.
MP, yeah.
nope.
Right.
It's complete cover.
She'll say, I mean, Manny's suggestion is not the worst idea. I could retrofit it with extra capability, escapability. We could make it look like it was one of his, and he could get around relatively undetected. I mean, there's no way to tell what's inside.
Yeah, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
Chapel
What
wasn't
I'm
paying
saying-
attention.
What I'm saying, Chapel, is it's going to require a bit of precision. It's a big place. Manny's right. You can't get lost in there. And if he does find the DFAD, I can't have you trying to pick it up again.
Yeah, I don't like the way you guys talk to me. You talk to me, like I'm a child? And I'm not a baby, I'm a grown-up. And I'm not your baby. This is my job, and Braxton always paid me really well to do it. And I could find and kill anyone if I felt like it. So, why don't you guys lay off and I can do my job?
I agree. I think Chapel is the best suited both in stealth and in reconnaissance. If we need somebody else in there, then Manny should do it for backup's sake. But I'd prefer if this was as small as possible.
Destiny will lift her hands. Obviously, she's not the brass here, and she'll say, I just mean this might take a bit of tact.
I'm wearing tactical gear.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, that's...
Chapel, honey?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Oh.
I'm going to need you whenever we need to go inside of Sharon's place.
Yeah.
Do not fight unless absolutely necessary. Do not fight unless they start it first.
Alright.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good.
What did she just tell you?
Quiet infill, reconnaissance, no engagement unless necessary.
He clearly rattles these off as if
Yeah.
they've been baked in from like a book.
Yeah, throw nods.
All right. Well, what do you want me to do with the? I keep trying to call it an EMP. I don't know why that keeps trying to slip out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll look to Allison and say, "What do you want me to do with this thing then?"
What were you pointing to?
The
Oh,
The MP.
the realistically, like, it could be cover for people going in because they're going to expect it coming in and you can't really see what's inside.
yeah. Allison's gonna say, I think we should do a little bit more reconnaissance on what Sharon's place looks like to begin with. If there are plenty of these MPs walking around, then it should blend in without any difficulty. In which case, that will be helpful.
Then I suppose we know where we're going.
I'm gonna turn unsubtly to Manny in front of everyone and go,
And maybe while you're here, the little demon boy can help you with your special project. Wink, wink.
He says.
I say out loud,
Not able to intercept it this time. He'll say, yeah, maybe.
This makes you look very confused.
What special project do you have going on, Manny?
He's gonna look at you and say, just trying to.
Allison, I want to keep this between you, me, Chapel, and this random guy standing in the corner.
Allison,
there's
this
a-
is just between you, me, and Brian right here.
He's sipping through a straw into his mask.
The other guy
Yeah,
shows
we
up
guys
with the
talking about
Cheetos and offers it
Nesquik.
one.
Yeah. Oh god, I've wanted to play a non-deceit character ever.
Shoot straight.
Yeah, I mean,
He's gonna look at Allison and he's gonna say,
we've got something dangerous aboard.
"Yeah, man, I should have given him an honesty thing that I could compel myself here. Fuck." He's just gonna look at Allison and he's gonna say, "There's something on board the Diamond Lance that those MPs were hardwired to look for, and I'm curious to know what it is."
Isn't that the fake DFAD? Or you think it's something else?
We did not know that at the time, or at least I didn't.
Yeah, we hadn't thought about it yet. We also don't know for sure that that's the truth. That is
Yeah.
Destiny's assumption based on the knowledge we have, but could be incorrect.
He's gonna say, "I'm not sure what, but call it a hunch. I don't want to break rank here, Sarge. These things are like soldiers moving on a directive, and I'm just trying to figure out what that directive is."
Understood. I wish you wouldn't keep secrets from me, though.
He'll kind of rub the back of his neck, and he'll say, "Yeah, not the best look."
Alright then. Well, I guess we will have to test out if the fake DFAD is in fact what they were searching after.
If we do have to go in, it's going to make a really good decoy.
Mhm.
But we got to take the whole thing. Can't take it apart.
Seems easy enough. We get some of our own amps out there to drop it.
She'll just give you like a little okay sign.
Allison Hendricks, there is one more matter to discuss. And Throw will bring themselves in front of you, fall down on one knee, and bring their opposing fists down, and just kind of keep their head bent as they say, "I disobeyed your orders. I accept whatever punishment you should decide."
I take the same pose just because it seems like the thing to do.
And if you want to, I will not contest you. You can give me any level of consequence you want.
Wait, that's to me?
Yeah, if you want to. They said they
Damn.
disobeyed orders, or like open season if you want to give me a consequence.
Cut off their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a finger.
Put it
Thoreau?
in your nose.
Thoreau, you're my charge. Do you know what that means?
That you're responsible for me and my actions.
Right, and that you have a responsibility to this group and to what I say.
Yes,
Don't needlessly put yourself at risk.
understood.
If you know you're wrong, don't do it to begin with.
Now,
they will-
Thoreau, pee your
Oh.
pants.
Immediately, there like you
Your
start. You
pants in
said
front of
pee.
everyone.
Yep.
No, no, no.
You hear a beeping sound, which is really unnerving.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
And for some reason, the top of your head starts getting wet.
Oh,
Fuck.
I hate it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they